Negative accounts. Negative accounts is like huge red flags. If you're applying for something, a negative account can be a red flag. They're gonna slow the process down. You ain't gonna get the house. You're not gonna get the credit card. If they see the wrong type of negative account on your account, they're gonna like stop the whole process. Negative accounts includes high balances. High balances, late payments. Late payments is some is one of the most important because it happens so often. That's why it's so important. Like this is one of the most important things on your credit report. You want to make sure you have zero late payments. You gotta like if you can't pay your bills on, if you can't make the payment on time, call the pay, call the people that you owe and let them know because you don't want them to report late payments. Late payments, it can leave you like can make your credit score drop all the way down. While you're trying to build your credit and keep your credit high, late payments can make your credit score go all the way down. Okay, so make sure if you feel like you about to go be late, hey, call the creditors and let them know, hey, I'm running late. This I had a little hardship. Hey, they will give you time, and they'll either add that payment on the back side of your loan. They'll put it in deferment. They'll work with you. You just got to be able to call them and let them know because you don't want them to report late payments. Okay? So we're going to move on to something I like to call Mr. Charge. It's charge-offs. Charge-offs. This can be confused to many people because it almost sounds like a debt that isn't owned. That like it make you think you ain't owe it, but you still owe it because it's still sitting on your credit report. You know what I'm saying? For example, if you're late paying a credit card after a few months, typically 3 to 4 months, the credit bureaus begin to lose hope that they cannot get you to pay this. So if they lose hope that you cannot get you to pay it, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna put it on your report as a charge off. Okay? The reason is statistically people you want the longer okay, say you owe some. If they put it as a charge off, basically saying if you haven't paid within these 3 to 4 months, the longer the time goes, they saying that they're not gonna be able to get you to pay. So the way that they could collect on some of their money can write it off, like so they can, you know what I'm saying, level their books out from that debt, they write it off. So when they write it off, they put it as a charge off. It sits on your credit as a debt owed. That means you still owe this. Okay? We're gonna talk about something everybody know about. Yeah, everybody probably been a part of it. Hey, it happens. But repossessions. Repossessions. I don't need to explain it. I think we all know what that is. It's when you get something. It could be vehicles, it could be furniture, it could be anything. It's when you don't pay it on time and you miss so many payments and they come and collect the merchandise. Because unlike charge-offs, charge-off is something like, okay, just say you don't have you don't have like collateral. It's no collateral property with it with charge off. With repossessions, they come and get the property because they don't have to put it as a charge off. They can get their property and try to make some of the money back with the property because once they repossess it, they put send it to auction and then they auction the vehicle off. That and then you probably end up owing the difference of what they didn't make if it didn't cover the whole entire of the loan bar or the loan amount. And most time it's not because they gonna take. That's when people go to the auction and get cars for a penny on the dollar because they're gonna take any money that they can for this vehicle because they're just trying to get something. Okay, and we all heard of this before. Probably don't know what it is, but we heard of it. Bankruptcies. Okay? We heard of bankruptcy before. I know we heard of bankruptcy. It's been just say bankruptcy will typically devastate your credit scores. Bankruptcy is a legal status of a person or organization that cannot repay its debts it owes to creditors. Creditors may file bankruptcy petition against a business or corporate debitor, involuntary bankruptcy, in an effort to recoup a portion of what they are owed or initiate reconstruction. Majority of cases, however, bankruptcy is initiated by the debtor. Okay, bankruptcy. That was the book definition. You probably didn't understand it because just by the way they worded it. I'm gonna tell you the definition of bankruptcy so you can understand it. Bankruptcy. Say if you, okay. Say if you got a vehicle. This vehicle is running the payment so high and what like it's just high, and so you don't have insurance on the vehicle because you're not making enough money to pay it. Like these things. Like it's no need to try to act like they don't happen. We all know that they happen. You got a vehicle, payments too high, so you don't have insurance on it. So you still driving the vehicle. You end up having a wreck with someone. You driving and you have a wreck with someone. Okay? Just say you have a wreck. Now, this person has insurance, so it's your fault. Okay? If you don't pay, guess what this person's gonna do? They're gonna file a lawsuit against you. Most people use this as ways to get out of that. Even though it's not right, it's not right. It's morally not right, ethical is not right. But you're able to do it. You're able to file bankruptcy when you can't pay. If you can't pay, you file bankruptcy. But the bankruptcy is going to devastate your credit scores. So be careful. Don't file bankruptcy. There's ways around it. It's like bankruptcy is when, like, if you ain't got the money, you got so much debt, you ain't got the money to pay for it. So you file bankruptcy. So they either consolidate your debt, or you can do, I believe is chapter 7. Chapter 7 is I think was when they chapter 13 is when they consolidated. Chapter 7 is when they swipe it away. Let's talk about judgments and liens. Judgments and liens is when a judge or government orders you to pay a debt or places a lien on you. It's not a good sign to lenders. So, just say if it's a lender and they're checking your report and you have a judgment or a lien on your credit report, that is not a good sign to them. That's let them know that you is a high risk. You is a high risk client. So most likely they probably won't lend to you unless you have some of those crooked lenders out there that they love lending to high risk users because they can jack the price up so high and hit you with bogus high rate interest rates till they make their money back before you even start paying for it. So try to stay away from judgments and liens. Okay? So let's go to the next thing. Foreclosure. Foreclosure. This is when you own a home. Okay? But let's go to the book. We're going to read the book definition of what foreclosure is. Foreclosures have recently skyrocketed after the collapse of the subprime mortgage industry. Foreclosures are extremely negative and usually high dollar amounts considering its real estate. Okay? So they're saying usually when you go into foreclosure is because you owe money on real estate. On the real estate that you're living in, you owe money on it.
Voila.